Hello, everybody. This is Living Word of Darkness, the rage across the New York. Today we have a scene in outside of the Sept. It is a dinner. The apartment building is nice. It is not that rich. You guys can guess as resources three most. As most of the apartment building close to Central Park, it is expensive, but it's one of the bad ones. Can you guys describe me? What are you guys wearing as a clothing?
Aiden is probably in like nicer clothes, like a really nice pair of jeans, kind of like a suit, kind of one of the fancier jackets, like a nice like button-up shirt and all that. So he looks respectable, not dished out to the nines, but respectable. Looks like more casual, formal type thing.
How was 10 point? Katie?
Oh, it helps if I'm not muted. Um, unless Aiden is planning to grab her again and shove her into borrowed clothes, she only has one kind of clothing. And that is like layered up boho style stuff. I will say she looks about like so, which ain't bad, but ain't the most fancy.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. What is Dallas is wearing?
Dallas is wearing, well, she's wearing a t-shirt, jeans, and a leather coat.
The guys find a home easily. It's the second floor, the number 4, and their surname is Smith. It's written as the Mistress Smith lives here. Who presses the din don, the buzzer? Not the buzzer, sorry, the ring.
Fuck it, probably Aiden. Yeah, fuck it, he'll press the ding dong.
Ding don, ding don. You guys hear, Brendan, wear your jacket. Okay. As you guys see the mother of Chad as she kind of opens the door with this like really nice smile. Her name is Jessica. As you guys know, she has Fiona Pure Breed 2 or 3. Uh, the her smile is really nice and gentle as she says, "Welcome. Please come in. Welcome."
Aiden will smile warmly, kind of walk in first, you know.
Aiden will get a nice hug from the lady as he will kiss her both cheeks.
He'll reciprocate warmly and seem quite relaxed.
She will kiss his both cheeks, and then she will turn towards Dallas. She will also try to hug Dallas and kiss her cheeks.
Dallas grimaces, but she doesn't stop it from happening.
Then she turns to 10 Point and tries to hug 10 Point.
Yep. 10 Point is comically a wee bit awkward, but all in all, she seems to very much appreciate the positive attention.
The guy known as Chad, if you wanna, clear the rune, is there. He doesn't look like the way he dresses in the Sept. He is more like, ready for this meeting. He doesn't talk. He shakes hands with everybody. And the Chad's mom slowly opens the door of the kitchen, which there is this like dinner table prepared for 5. And she says, please come in. We prepared the Irish food that I learned at home for everyone. There's a slight Irish accent in her voice that it's probably disappeared in her time in New York, which I can't do, so I don't even bother doing OOC.
That's cool. Yeah, smile warmly and look actually delighted that they've made food from home. So he looks a bit more relaxed suddenly. He will politely, sit down, look at his other packmates,
So yes, 10 Point happily follows along, and we'll for the most part be waiting to Aiden and Dallas to do whatever is being prompted before doing it herself. But as soon as both have walked in and sat themselves, she'll creep in and do the same.
The mother doesn't sit, but Chad sits. His phone starts like ringing as you guys kind of like hear him mutter under his like breath, shit, and then he like puts his on phone and is like like I'm busy. He doesn't even say it. He's just like presses the red button. Those who looks at the mother sees the mother gives Chad a look, and Chad closes the phone. The mother simply asks, "So how is everything at the Sept? I hope everyone is happy."
Well, we're trying to keep spirit up. Aye, yeah, definitely. You just look over it. The other two.
After the awkward silence, mother says,
So I was trying to force Vinny to talk. It didn't work.
"Oh, okay, go on."
Probably with
But
Dallas. Eventually, if Dallas has an awkward son, she would just get a sharp nudge in the elbow, in the ribs,
And yeah, 10 Point is a little non-committal about the state of everything at the park, considering what just happened with the whole brick and the fact that she hates that brick. That brick is the devil, and she knows it. But I mean, otherwise things seem pretty nice.
The mother smiles. There's this again, the awkward silence. She starts bringing the soups and putting waters near the soups. And when she puts the last soup, she sits. Does anybody start eating?
Nope. I wait.
And I'm going to check her etiquette. Dallas starts eating.
Oh boy.
Dallas is going to end up kicked under the table. God damn it! Oh,
No,
sits back and waits.
Aiden visually just walks over and just lightly on the back of the head. Be polite.
What?
we thank Gaia for, as Mother puts his hands together.
Yeah,
We thank Gaia for things that she provides us. We thank Gaia for this dinner, for putting us all together. We thank Gaia for our unity. We thank Stag and the Great Fenrir for protecting us while we were eating this dinner, being with our friends.
Amen.
And she
You
smiles.
hear amen. He like looks at his packmates like, say it.
I mean, 10 Point is delighted and devoutly raises her hands as well because let's face it, this is right up her alley.
Dallas just goes through the motions because this has never happened at a dinner table she's been at. Dinner tables that she's been at that are formal are always rowdy. There's two people usually fighting on the floor. Meanwhile, people are drinking and slurping, and this is just uncouth.
Ah,
She nods at everybody one by one, which means that we can start eating. As Chad kind of like starts to, and then another look from the mother, and then she like takes a second drink, like without like making that voice. Absolutely, Vinny. Absolutely.
Yeah, as Aiden will delicately try as best as he can take slow sips, but if Dallas makes a single noise, you just get through the pack thing. Stop making it sound like you're slurping a damn soda, for fuck's sake.
Dallas looks over. She's literally got the bowl in two hands and has the lip up, or the rim up to her mouth, and looks over at Aiden.
He just gives her a stare like, put it down. Use a spoon like a normal person, Dallas. Stop embarrassing us. He just whispers under his breath really closely beside her.
She'll set it down and there with the pack link. She's like, "What? Using a spoon is slow. I'm hungry."
Doesn't
She'll
say
look up.
anything. He just doesn't say anything, but you just see his look like, we'll talk about this later.
Looks up at the mother. Is just like, "This soup is really good."
10 Point is now weakly grinning down at her bowl because the back and forth is kind of funny. Let's face it. She's on her best behavior, but
the mother says. The mother says, "Thank you, hon. I can give you the. I fucking forget the word.
Recipe?
The recipe. I can give you the recipe if you want to."
That's probably not a good idea. I'm actually a really terrible cook.
10 Point like chokes briefly. Just
Aiden rubs his temples just slowly. We would be happy to accept the recipe. You know, Aiden would just like say
The mother smiles and then she says, "I have 4 children, and they're all sitting on this table. I love Dallas as how she is. I love Aiden as how she is. I love 10 Point and how she is. And I love Chad as how he is. So maybe Dallas is not a good cook, but I know she's a good fighter for Gaia. I know she is working at the forge every day. Gaia takes from one side and adds it to another. As she smiles at Dallas.
Dallas just kind of nods back. Well, I'm used to eating at a get table, so this is a bit She goes to say hoity-toity, and she stops herself, and this is just a bit more refined than I'm used to.
It's completely okay. I was having a hard time, and I was also with my husband. It is hard to adjust to the bonar sept.
He nods slowly as he's sipping.
So, Dallas, don't you have anyone in your life?
Well, I have my pack. And she'll point over at the other two.
You're really beautiful. I'm sure there's a lot of kinfolk who's looking at you with smiling eyes.
Aiden just takes a sip through his pack, through his soup, and all he hears through the pack is, "Yes, Dallas, please go on. Do tell." As he looks over at her, smirking just a slight bit.
Dallas will just shrug as she takes another spoonful of soup. Just the most inefficient way to consume soup is with a spoon. And she'll shrug. Well, if they are, they're not approaching. So it is what it is.
Maybe one day. Aiden, how is Sheila?
She's good. She's good. You know, she's bubbly and running around with her friends. You know, she's good. She's good. He just nods.
The chat says, yeah, it's Sabrina.
Aiden tries not to laugh
Brendan!
as he's taking a sip of soup. He's like, yeah, you know.
As you guys hear the mom, Brendan, and the chat says, apologies. And then she says, I'm really happy that she's trying her hardest for you, and you're doing your best.
She's a good woman. He just say very solemnly as he's sipping, looking down, not meeting her eye at all, just concentrating on his food.
Does anybody looking at the woman? Or everybody is like focused on the drink?
I have a nasty habit of muting myself. No, 10 Point will be glancing up now and again, kind of politely keeping track of her.
10 Point, because she is usually really good at seeing stuff as an icy thing. Mother realizes that the Aiden is not looking at her when she talks about Sheila. When Aiden talks about Sheila, she realizes he didn't look at her.
And, yeah, I will, in fact, bring that line just into the audio. And she'll be glancing up and keeping track of Chad, keeping track of people's expressions. And we'll catch this obvious kind of realization on the mother's face. And we'll just comment, ever so innocently into the pack link. You two seem to think the kin don't see. You're going to get caught in a lie.
He'll look up. Like, what? That startled like expression. Yeah, no, Sheila's a good woman. Finally meeting her eyes, he's realized, oh fuck. So he'll like look up casually as he finishes eating. She's a good woman, having fun with her friends. Can't ask for a better wife. Say very solemnly, meeting her eye this time.
She smiles. Then her phone rings. as she opens the phone. Apologies, stalks the corrupt. Raya, yes, he's here. His phone is closed because I told him to. I apologize. I will send him to Sept immediately. And then she turns to Chad, and then she says, Brendan, your Raya is inviting you to Sept. It seems there is something that needs to happen with you. But Mom, I'm eating. Brendan, don't talk while you eat. He stops. It seems Uriah bites the weak also, wants you there. He nods. He puts some bread to his mouth as Mom looks again because he's putting so much bread into one mouth that doesn't fit. After eating all of those, while Mom is looking like this to his son Brendan because he trying to eat all the goddamn stuff at the same time, the Brandon says, "Guys, I'm sorry, Raya's in Yacht 10 point. I gotta go. So see you guys later."
See you later, Brendan. Honestly, taking a sip, very amused.
10 Point's trying very hard to pretend that she's not smiling. Oh, what a nice drink this is. She'll just have a drink out of that. Oh, he said bye. She'll just give a little wave. Oh, God.
This is the look the mother was giving to the chat. You guys hear the door closes. She eats, and then she goes again, brings the second food, the rice. The OOC, I have lack of knowledge about the food, Irish food, but she usually predominantly brings Irish food that she does, and she is really good at what she does.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's like stew and stuff like that. So
Okay.
That's usually like one of the big Irish foods. So I'd imagine it's stew.
Mm-hmm.
Like beef or lamb, that type of thing.
One by one, she presents it to everyone, but first she gives it to Aiden, then Dallas, and then 10 Point. The lastly herself. If anyone wants to drink alcohol, she says, please let me know.
Alice just raises a hand.
Aiden, meanwhile, will get a mental nudge to remind him that he had the wine to give her.
Yeah, he will. I do. I do bring wine if you like wine. Could have raised an eyebrow there.
I do.
Perfect. Aiden will just very casually get up, and allow me. He'll say he'll go and get wine. Basically, pour the wine for people. Actually be quite a host, like semi-hostable.
She will get up with him, and bring the glasses and all that jazz with him. They will look pretty good together. How do I say? It seems the mom is helping Aiden. She smiles. The vines will be give everybody, and then she sits. She doesn't raise a toast to anyone yet, but then she says, the things that is happening at the Sept, I think everybody's active. I hope you guys find time to rest for for doing casual things.
And Temple will cast a glance at the other two since they've, for the most part, been fairly quiet. Turn a glance aside. There's been an onslaught of this and that happening, but we can at least look forward to giving proper honor to Dana tonight.
She smiles, especially after a lot of kin dying. that Chad is really worried.
Brownits. I'm worried about what in particular?
The one where a lot of King got attacked by the police, I think. That's what I heard.
Oh. Information has been gained about the people that made that happen, who they used to make it happen. We can't be blindsided a second time.
She smiles.
And there's a reassuring little smile offered back.
The reassuring smile helps her more, as she smiles more warmly. And then she looks at Aiden. Aiden,
Yeah, he'll say as he politely sets down his fork and making sure he answers when he's not eating.
when my son died, you told me he will take his revenge. That
He'll
day I
nod very-
told you...
Not very
Go on,
solemnly.
go on.
Yeah, he'll just nod very solemnly, you know, very seriously.
And that day I told you that you are my son now. I lost a son and I gained another. Dallas has also was there to take his revenge. So does 10 Point. And I see them as someone who I see responsible as well. And I guess you see 10 Point and Dallas as your sisters, am I correct?
He'll nod. Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. He'll say very warmly at the two of them.
So I will ask you very simply, as someone who sees you as his child, how can I help you? What is the problem? As she puts a hand on Aiden's hand and looks him in the eye,
He'll take a sip of his wine and suddenly, like, really awkwardly, like oh god, he'll kind of rub the back of his head awkwardly. It's just been it's been a rough patch, you know.
I know. Chad has rough patches as well. But it doesn't make him stay at the lake for 2 weeks. It doesn't make him stay on his cabin. And when he has a really hard problems, he tells me it's been just rough 2 days. If you can't tell me what's the problem, I can't help you.
Kind of rub the back of his head.
And whatever
Let's
you
just say
say is going to remain here. I made Chad leave for this reason.
10
He'll
Point's
nod.
eyebrows pop up a little bit, but there's a faint nod of acknowledgement, manipulator to manipulator.
10 Point is like, oh, you motherfucker.
Yeah, she sees what happened here and is suddenly just a touch more comfortable at the table, and we'll keep her eyes on her plate and her mind stretched out at Aiden's to make sure that he He understands her assessment of the situation. Hopefully feels confident.
He takes another sip of wine, not like a gulp or anything. He's very casual. He kind of like struggled a bit, He's like, "Oh God, what did I say? Okay, here we go. And then you just take a long breath. I had to choose between the love of another person and my honor and the vows I made. And that decision is weighing heavily on my mind. And I'm about to lose that person that I love, and I can't do anything about it."
She takes a sip from her wine, takes a deep breath, and she nods. She is telling you that she can't handle the marriage that you made.
He'll kind of, take a sip again. Marriage, to help out my pack mates, to help out my vows. I went to do that because I believe I'm an honorable man. I would do anything for my pack and my family. Only the problem was, he smiled almost bitterly. I fell in love with someone else.
So she's
And that person is dying, and I swore a vow, one that I cannot break. Be an oath breaker if I do, and I am. He'll kind of pause and just take a sip of the wine and kind of leave it hanging in the air.
And for that big a confession, Templin will finally lift up a hand and just reach over and idly lay it on his shoulder. Nothing more than that. Just physical anchor.
the hand was holding Aiden's hand is more tighter. She's not letting her hand go.
No, he keeps hold of. To be honest, he actually keeps hold of the mother's hand at all. And if 10 Point lays a hand on his shoulder, he just seems quite relaxed. And to be honest, he seems quite relieved that he was able to so openly talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
He seems to just feel a bit better that someone was willing to, that he was more comfortable to talk about it.
Do you mind if I tell you why I'm at New York?
No, not at all.
She smiles. Do you know who was my husband?
Light head shake.
Actually, you guys
She
heard a
said,
rumor. Oh, so you guys heard a rumor way in the past. When I first became a Steve. When I first brought Chad, there was a rumor.
Ooh.
You guys can roll intelligence alertness to remember.
What if you have eidetic memory?
His father was a bone knife.
That was kind of wait, her father or Chad's father?
No, Chad's father.
Her husband, yeah.
Her husband was a bone knife.
She's just gonna kind of sit up and sort of scrunch up her nose, and over the pack link, she's like, "Isn't Chad's dad a Bodnar?"
Blink, blink.
just nod.
The 21 years ago, I was at the Boston. He had this beautiful sept, and I was the daughter of the truth catcher. My father is my father was Fiona Adrian Philodox. Unquestionable judgment. He wanted me to marry Silverfang from Septofrost, frozen, from the Sept of Frostbite at Tanzerville. They're an old line. I didn't know this man, and he came with his pack. There was another pack who arrived at the same time, and the Silverfang wanted to prove his word by calling out a brawl for everyone. He wanted to show how he is the strongest one in the Sept. There was this gentleman who tried to raise me to a dance. I rejected him. And I said, I will only dance with you if you win the brawl. I was not trying to test him. I was not trying to make him actually be with me. You know, it's good to have more brawlers in a brawl. It makes the brawl more epic. The Galliard sings the songs better. One by one, everybody starts fighting. And in the end, there was the gentleman who I said entered for the fight in the Silverfang that I was promised. And he won. Because if the Silverfang won, they would have told the great stories, but they don't tell the stories of the Bornars. It's not their purpose. I learned that he was a Bornar. And he told me that he fall in love with me in first sight. I couldn't have done that to my father. I rejected him. But one thing I realized is that I didn't love that man, the other one, the Silverfang. I choose love. My father disowned me. I come to the Sept that the people, that is everybody's accepted. That is the reason I am here for 20 years now. I accepted the bad reputation for the man who showed me that he loves me, not my surname. But I'm not telling you this story to make you choose like me. The reason I'm telling you this story because your indecision about this is hurting you, and it's hurting me to see you like this. This pack, this three individual in front of me, made me realize a mistake that I have done in the past. Not the mistake that I have, not the thing that I just told you, it's about something else. But you made me forget You all three made me forget a hatred that I have towards certain people. I realized one person's vengeance is another's justice. And you three again made me happy again, and I have you, Aiden, as a son. So, if the indecision is making you sad, my advice to you is really simple. If you want to go, if you choose to not go there, you will not go there. You probably will be unhappy, angry for a long time. But the time will pass, and you will be better, thanks to your packmates, this ginger girl and lovely 10 Point. And if you go near that girl understanding the consequences of your actions. And if Emir whenever comes here, threatens my son, he will have to kill me first. As I lost one, I am not losing another. You're my darling boy, Eden, and I am done to see you sad. As she looks directly in the eye to Aiden, her eyes a little bit teary.
Aiden, Aiden, she'll feel his hand squeeze against hers, and he meets her eye directly, and then he's a bit teary himself because, God, Jesus. He'll look at her and very solemnly, I can never ask you to make that sacrifice for me. But I thank you for your wisdom. And I thank you for accepting me into your family. Whatever I decide, I'm glad that I have you and my pack with me no matter what I choose.
You're a good person, Eden. Everybody makes mistakes. We, Fianna, are known with our passions. It is our greatest weakness, and it is our greatest weapon.
And 10 Point periodically gets the little distant look about her, but is definitely listening to what goes back and forth. And excuse me a second. After everything that's been said, with the two of them, clasping each other's hands so tightly, and 10 Point's got a hand up on Aiden's shoulder still, but especially considering the content that flicks through the back of her head, she turns a glance to him, makes a impulsive decision, and shifts the hand to the back of his shoulder and kind of, like, I assume since it's been a serious conversation, he doesn't have food in his hands or anything, and proceeds to give him a very light nudge. Not enough to jostle him too harshly, but enough to kind of get the idea across. Damn it.
Damn it, Tarna!
Shoved him right out of the hangout. I'm sorry, I got enthusiastic. A little too excited.
Yes, and Alice is still eating.
Is she like doing the like watching TV at the dinner table thing where it's like her eyes are up on the stuff that's going on, but she's just shoveling?
She's got a piece of bread in one hand and is dipping it, and with the other hand, she is spooning up stew into her mouth. Told
Beautiful.
you she was fucking hungry.
Beautiful. You're back. Did you get what I said?
Sorry about that. No, the fucking Hangouts fucking shut me off. What did you say, Katie? I literally missed all of that. I'm really sorry.
10
I'm really
point,
sorry.
you know, she watches, she listens, she kind of plays with the wine glass and pretends to be interested in it, but she's had the hand on the back of Aiden's shoulder, and between what's being said out loud and in the back of her head, she kind of decides on impulse, especially with the way that let me look again, that Jessica there is making such an effort to be there for Aiden, and Aiden is being, well, he's being Aiden. So she just, her hand on his shoulder shifts back and to the back of his shoulder, and he gets a nudge towards her.
Yeah, once he kind of feels that kind of nudge, he'll awkwardly at first, hug Chad's mom. But it's kind of, once the awkwardness is over, it's very firm. It's, to be honest, it's actually quite tender, like an actual son hugging a mother for the first time. Because he is incredibly not used to it. But once he actually makes physical contact, he gushes over her. Trying his best not to cry, actually, like hiccuping slightly.
She will kiss him in the forehead. Her hands will, try to help him as best as she can. And Dallas is still eating.
And he eventually stops and picks himself up and will nod at her. At the end of the day, I'll make my decision, and I think I've made it. But I'll always be your son and here to support you, like I promised. No matter what becomes of me, whether I am still an honourable man or I'm still classed as an outbreaker among our people, I will always support this family, as well as my pack.
Honor is a really different term, Aiden. Sometimes one can't be a good person because of his honor. This is why it's so important. And this is why it's so precious. And this family that you are in will always support you and be there for you.
Just nod, smiling for the first time. Yeah.
It's okay, 10 Point's smiling too. You dare say she might look a tiny bit smug.
And yeah, Aiden kind of just stands there, sits there awkwardly, like holding on to the mother's hand. Then eventually he'll kind of, as much as he can, like put his arm around 10 Point and let go of the mother's hand and put his arm around Dallas, awkwardly as hell. Because it's all that kind of like big man, like big man trying to still be tough in front of the women type of thing. God damn it, Vinny. But yeah, Hayden puts his
Mother-
arms awkwardly around 10 Point and Dallas, despite Dallas slurping away. You just look at her,
Oh
shaking his
shit!
head, smiling.
She gets the wooden spoon. We're both leaving you to her. We're not saving you.
Mother wants to give this look, but no, she doesn't. She doesn't.
But no, she doesn't. Poof.
Dallas may or may not have picked up the bowl with one hand. She's still using the spoon, but
She's doing that thing where she's like over the bowl.
mhm. When
Oh,
Aiden puts his arm over her, she's just like, she kind of looks up. Oh, this soup is really good. Or stew is really good. She gives a thumbs up and then goes back to eating.
He just smiles warmly at her, like, never mind, Dallas, it's okay. Just keep eating. You're all right. It's a smile.
Pat, pat.
She
it's
gets
okay.
up and then brings the the after food type of things for everyone. She sits and slowly eats them. She has really like she has high etiquette. Let's just say she eats with the fork and the what was the name of that bullshit? Knife with like grace.
What is the dessert we're having?
Baklava.
After finishing off the bowl, Dallas just picks up a piece of the baklava and bites into it like she's eating a cupcake. You invited this etiquette one person to a dinner party, Amoosh.
Etiquette
Or
one is enough
etiquette
to.
zero.
Wait, you have etiquette one?
No,
Etiquette
I'm sorry.
one is
Etiquette
good.
zero.
Okay, I was about to say I'm fucking faking it with etiquette zero because no one's made me roll yet. But
No, you don't need to roll for a family dinner. But if it was like a Silver Fang bowl, if we were gonna roll some shit.
Silver Fang ball, I wouldn't be let inside.
Yeah.
But no, he'll just smile warmly at Dallas and shaking his head as he's eating. We'll just nod and seem a bit actually brighter. Seems a bit more relaxed about himself, not as dreary looking as he usually is.
The mom kind of smiles as she sees Aiden a little bit more better about himself. And she doesn't have a lot of things to say other than, asking casual questions. So if you guys have any questions for her,
I mean, 10 Point will just kind of make idle conversation.
I think the only thing Aiden really says is that he'll have to bring like Sheila over, and so Mom effectively can meet the wife. That's about it, really.
she will accept and she will be really happy to have Sheila here. And we will never, talk about how. She makes a joke about it. We will never talk about how I will, yell at Von Everett if he comes to do something to you.
It's fine. It's
that
fine.
conversation never happened.
Yeah, he'll just not like it's fine.
So maybe your guys' thing, we can end the scene there. As everyone eating their baklava.
Yes. So thank you, players, for playing and watchers for watching. Because I'm the captain now. We'll see you next time on Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York.